Hi, I'm Aaron, Chartered Quantity Surveyor and Management Consultant to the real estate development and construction sector. And in today's video, I want to talk about why traditional advertising simply doesn't work for contractors. Now, when I talk about traditional advertising, I'm talking about TV adverts, radio adverts, adverts in the local newspaper, adverts in trade magazines, Google ads, Facebook ads. I want to use this as an opportunity to talk about why I don't think these forms of advertising are suitable for contractors. Now, don't get me wrong, I do believe that they have their place for specific contractors, and it really all depends on the value of the work being carried out. And I think that these traditional forms of advertising, they're perfectly okay for low value work. And when I talk about low value work, I'm talking about, a couple of grand to install some new radiators, or, if you're a fencing contractor, a customer rings you up because there's been a storm the night before and the fences have blown down. They need somebody urgently to come round and fit new fencing. Advertising in this sense can work pretty well because it is low value work. It's work which is not going to break the customer's bank balance or get them into severe debt. If you think about a customer who's having a new kitchen installed, what's it going to cost? A couple of grand to have a kitchen fitter come round and install a new kitchen? Or if you're thinking about having a new boiler installed, or if you need a gas safety inspection to be carried out, or you need some electrical safety checks carried out, you're going to pay somebody maybe a couple of £100 or a few $100s to come out. Again, it's not going to break the bank balance. Customers typically aren't getting into debt and taking out bank financing to be able to cover that work. And so they can pretty much rely and have trust in somebody that they find in a local newspaper or through Google ad searches. However, as you may know, my channel is based around contractors who want to scale their businesses and take on contracts worth in excess of 100 grand. We're talking about high value work. And this is where traditional advertising simply doesn't work. And the reason why is because I want you to think about it from your customer's perspective. If you're a construction customer and you're thinking about spending hundreds of thousands of dollars or pounds on building a new home or renovating your existing premises to include extensions and loft conversions, or if you're a housing association and you want to hire a contractor to complete a multi-unit apartment block, ask yourself this question: are you really going to trust somebody that you've just found in the local newspaper, or somebody that you've just Googled and you've just come across this company? Are you going to trust them with hundreds of thousands or if not millions of dollars worth of construction spending? The answer to that question is probably no. And the reason being is because it really all boils down to trust. You may trust a plumber to install a couple of grand's worth of radiators in your new property, but are you really going to trust somebody who you don't know to come out and build your house from the ground up to the tune of hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars? And so everything really, in this sense, it all boils down to trust. And your construction customers are going to be asking, who are the management team? What experience do they have? Who are the project managers? Who are the site managers, the QSs who are going to be overseeing the project? These are all questions that the customer is going to have. And the only way that they can gain answers to those questions is if they know you. And this really leads me on to my next point, which is, how do you get in front of customers and bypass traditional forms of advertising to win large scale construction work? There's a few ways that this can be done. With one of the most effective means of acquiring new customers is through word of mouth. Now think about what I said about trust. When somebody recommends you through word of mouth to a potential new customer, that comes with a certain element of trust. If somebody has used your services before and they were that satisfied with the outcome to the point where they've decided to recommend you to another potential customer, that's a clear demonstration of trust. But what do you do if you're just starting out in the business? Or you typically undertake smaller scale works, but you're thinking about scaling up and undertaking larger projects. But in this scenario, it really all boils down to networking. It's about getting in front of people, letting people know who you are, the experience you have, and your capabilities for being able to undertake larger projects. This is where it's going to be very useful to attend networking events, getting in front of the decision makers who can give you an opportunity to tender on larger construction projects. Now, there's plenty of networking events that you can attend. Some of them are specialist networking events that cater specifically to the real estate development and construction industry. Again, very useful places to be because you're going to come across a very wide variety of people who may have an interest in your services or who may be able to recommend you to somebody who is looking for a contractor. You're probably going to be coming across structural engineers, architects, property developers. You're definitely going to be in the right room with some decision makers. However, there are other forms of networking that you can undertake. You can attend trade events that are specifically catered towards professionals within the industry. So if you're a general contractor and you want to win larger projects, the gatekeepers to those projects typically tend to be the architects. The architect is often one of the first professionals to be commissioned by a property developer because the property developer is going to need some form of outline design for the work. And after the design has been completed, the next phase is to find a contractor. Now, if the architect is on good terms with you and you've had the opportunity to explain who you are, and they feel that you're somebody who they can put forward for the job, the architect is going to recommend you to the property developer, and that could be a potential business lead. The same goes for structural engineers. There's always going to be a need for a structural design on a project, and again, structural engineers work very closely with property developers, and if you're on good terms with the structural engineer, there's a chance that they may be able to put you forward and recommend that you be considered as an option for the tender list. As the saying goes, sometimes it's not about what you know, it's who you know. And so it definitely pays to be well connected, getting out there, meeting as many people as you can, handing out business cards, and also checking in with people once you've met them. Always make sure that you follow up with them a couple of days after you've met them, even if it's to ask for a coffee or to go out for a beer and have a sit down and just talk and just get a feel for if they're the type of person that you would like to work for, and to give them an opportunity to know who you are and let them understand if you're the type of person that they want to work with. But going beyond networking, another fantastic way that you can scale your business and generate more leads is through the use of social media. Now, a great platform for this is LinkedIn. And the reason being is because it is a business to business platform. If you're a business owner, you can set up your own business page or you can run it under your own name. It really makes no difference. But the idea is that you're using LinkedIn as a networking tool to try to gain interest in your products or your services and to connect directly with other decision makers who may be interested in your services. The same also goes for Facebook, Instagram, and I would also say YouTube as well. And the reason why these platforms are so useful is because it enables you to tell your story through showing your potential customers what it is that you actually do on a day-to-day basis. So if you're a brickwork contractor or a carpenter, for example, it's quite easy for you to showcase your work by filming what it is that you do and putting it out there on social media for people to see the quality of the work that you're producing. Once people start to gain an interest and you start to gain traction, there's a chance that you could have one or two people in the early days reaching out to you who may be interested to learn a little bit more about what you do. You can take the conversation away from the social media platforms and actually strike up a personal relationship with these individuals over a coffee or a beer and seek opportunities to get onto their tender lists. Being able to demonstrate to your customers who you are and what you do and the quality of work that you produce and the results that you've been able to deliver for your clients is a much more effective way than paid traditional advertising. It gives people an opportunity to know who you are. It lets people know that there's real humans behind the business who are getting things done, producing results for their customers, being trustworthy, being knowledgeable within their field of expertise. And then once you start to gain a track record of securing new projects using social media, that's when you start moving into the area of word of mouth. People begin to talk about you, they begin to recommend you to others, and it really all boils down to social proofing. If you're somebody who's achieved results for another customer, there's a high chance that a new customer will want to use you based on the results that you've been able to obtain for your previous customers. Again, social proofing is a very, very powerful tool when it comes to acquiring new construction contracts. If you are a contractor who wants to scale up and take on those larger projects, you're probably not going to win them through simple advertising. You're going to have to get out there, you're going to have to be networking with other people, using social media in a way to demonstrate who you are, what it is that you do, the results that you're able to achieve for your customers so that people begin to like, trust, and respect you. And that's going to be your best bet when it comes to securing new construction work. So I hope you got something useful from this video. Don't forget to give this video a like, comment, and let me know what forms of advertising or promotion you're using to build your construction business. And make sure you subscribe to this channel and follow me to watch more videos on construction and real estate development. Once again, I'm Aaron, Chartered Quantity Surveyor and owner of Hayden Construction Services, a management consultant to the real estate development and construction industry, and I'll see you in the next one.